Welcome, everybody. It's John Kranz at Compass Games. It's a pleasure to have you here again for this, our Town Hall episode number 7. So today's September 3rd, 2020, and we're looking forward to covering quite a few things with Bill Thomas today. However, before we get started with the latest inside news and your comments and questions, as I always like to do each and every broadcast, is I want to give you quick updates on our release schedule. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the website. We've just had it updated. I'll go ahead and actually make it a little bit larger here so you can see it. And as you can see here from the product pipeline snapshot, we've got on the right column our recent releases. So I just saw the first social posting actually happened just today on Jacobite Rising. So I know at least one person's received the game. So that shipped earlier this week. That's, again, that's the standalone game based on Command and Colors Tricorn American Revolution. And then over to the left, we did do an update on our schedule, which now takes us through end of October. So we're adding the month of October for the first time. Just to review real quickly what we have coming up is we have on September 15th, in less than 2 weeks, we'll have Dawn's Early Light shipping. We'll then have an Attrition of Souls on the 1st of October. That's that strategic World War I game. And then we pushed back just a little bit the date for Korean War from September to October 15th. We're just waiting. That's to get the counter sheets in from the new printer we're working with. We talked earlier about the new improved counter sheets. So we've got those counters coming in and we'll be shipping middle of October. And then we have our next issue of Paper Wars, issue 96, which features the game Rally Round the Flag. So again, full schedule there as far as what we have coming down the pike. Also, just want to briefly mention, as you can see in the little yellow-orange highlighted box there on the left column, that's where you can give us your email address so we can send you our newsletter, which we send out once a week. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see that myself sort of waving at you. It says, talk to us. That's where you can actually submit your feedback and questions to us. We'll try to answer them for sure within 24 hours. And also, those are the questions and feedback we like to include in these very own town hall meetings that we're doing right now. So again, very helpful that you're able to submit questions to us. Just as a reminder, as far as the newsletter goes, we just sent out this newsletter earlier this week to give you an idea what it looks like. On September 2nd, we sent out the notice that Jacobite Rising is now shipping. We have Cradle of Civilization now on Kickstarter, which I'll just show here in a moment. We also have on pre-order the reprint to have it back in stock, Stellar Horizons. So very pleasantly surprised to see how well the response has been to the game. So of course print run ran out and we've got a reprint coming. So you can pre-order the straight reprint right now, and that's going to be coming in November. We'll be back in stock in November. As I mentioned already, we have Dawn's Early Light, which will be coming out in less than 2 weeks. That's our next game release. And right now we're doing this. We're doing Town Hall number 7 with Bill. I'll be welcoming Bill here shortly. We always like to mention in each newsletter what our next live broadcast will be. And then we also spotlight our most recent broadcast, which was we had a great episode with Chris Fawcett actually on the fall of Tobruk, and we went through all the components which people haven't seen before. We don't even have them all on the website yet, haven't had a chance to do that, but was a great session. We also had Shane Logan on, the artist, so we went pretty deep into the components and into the game system, so was a heck of a lot of fun. And then just a reminder for Cradle of Civilization, we have that on Kickstarter right now. There's 10 days left and the Kickstarter, how somebody just ordered it. I just saw we just saw the wheel spin up a few dollars there. So we just got our 90th backer. Again, we have this game, or we've had this game on pre-order for some time. So if you've pre-ordered a Cradle of Civilization already, you don't need to do a Kickstarter. Just worth mentioning, for our Kickstarter, we do offer a 10%, I think it's about a 10% discount if you order a second copy through the Kickstarter. So if you want a backup mint copy that you can just keep on your shelf, feel free. But again, if you've pre-ordered this game already, and it will be back on our website when the Kickstarter is over, it's just another way for us to reach another audience through Kickstarter. And again, we've got 10 days left to go on that. So that's a quick review of what we have. And again, as a reminder, our next release is right here, Dawn's Early Light. That will be shipping September 15th. We just recently released, just earlier this week, Jacobite Rising. And then we had that last video, our last Compass Games Live episode 39 was with Chris Fawcett over Fall of Tobruk. So we sure covered a lot of stuff. And with that, let's go ahead and bring in Bill Thomas. And let's get caught up on things with Compass. And then we'll also start getting into your questions and feedback as well. Good evening, Bill. How have you been the last 2 weeks since we last spoke?
Yeah, been good.
Yep, got some updates for us. I don't know if you want to start with the catalog or anything in mind.
Yeah, Billy's been working on the catalog. Okay, it's actually probably, I'm reviewing it this weekend. Probably go to printers next week. And here it is. Here's the, there's part of it. Okay, we actually went to a different format to make it a lot easier. Okay, we actually blocked it off so it's very symmetrical. And people who have gotten it in the past will understand that the blocks used to be they weren't symmetrical.
Right.
They are now. And they're all alphabetical.
I could see on the little squares, all the squares sort of line up on that side. Yeah, there we go. Everything seems to have its own little square that matches. So that's nice to see. Also see some new titles in there we haven't talked about before.
Oh, we've got about, I would say about 8 or 9, maybe 10 games that are going up on pre-order within the next week or so. And John's working to get them up on the website. They're in the catalog. And yeah, going to be some exciting stuff and coming up in the next year. I know in the first quarter, we're definitely going to be doing probably 3 games a month for January, February, and March. What caught us a little bit caught us in the little behind was the counter issue has really done our domestic production has really slowed down a little bit because of the counter issue. Okay, so that, like Indian Ocean, Pacific War, what other ones? Imperium, all would have been out by now. Okay, except for the counter issue.
Well, I knew it was important. Yeah, that was an important for us improving the quality of the games. This was an important. Of course, nobody's seen it yet, so they don't know quite what we're talking about yet. But that was a very important change that took several months to put together to have these new thicker, improved counter sheets for all games, domestic based games.
Our domestic has slowed down. Our actual China stuff has actually increased. So I've got a ton of China stuff.
Yeah.
We need to get the domestic stuff moving as well. So so domestic fell behind a little bit. I'm getting another shipment September 8th, I think it comes in from China. And then I just approved Lamps, the 2nd edition, and I approved Granada, which I actually have the sample right here.
Oh, why don't you show Granada a little bit? I'm just going to let you sort of show it for a little bit here.
Hey, there's.
Yeah. Oh, it's a nice big box. That's a pretty thick. Is that what size box is that there on the side?
It's got to be 3-inch.
That's a 3-inch box, right? That's almost like detergent size box.
Big Granada, very nice.
Very nice. I like the box. I like the side panel. Yeah.
Here's the rule book.
Yep.
See, rule book.
Rule book.
Got blocks.
All right, move them towards your shirt. Use the pink background of your shirt.
Remember,
move it.
To my right, I guess.
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be reverse. There you go.
Left on you. That's what confuses me.
So, are there stickers that you affix to the block?
Yeah, stickers.
Yep. Yep.
You got little cubes. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yep, there we go. Yep, white and black cubes. See that?
There you got little. See ya.
Oh, got the pouches for
like more. Blocks. See, blocks.
We're not going to make you pull out the map. It's going to be too difficult. It's too big.
4 blocks, but all the here are the cards.
Yeah, upside down, but looks good. That's all right.
Yeah, here
that counts. Yeah, looks good. I can see it. We need to get you like an extra show light so we can have more lighting towards you, so we can really make the cards pop. But we got the idea. That's a big deck. It looks like a pretty thick deck you got there.
There's, I think, over, I can't remember, 140 maybe. See, more.
Yep. Yep. Oh, I like I like the style of the cards. They're great. A lot of cards for sure. I can see that.
You got little wooden castles and see,
Okay, I like that. Yeah, different shapes. Got circular and rectangular. It looks like.
it's a castle, but I don't know. See,
Oh, look at that. That is a castle.
it's a castle.
Hey, Jack's been to Granada, so that's he's writing. He's ready to go on this one. I agree with Mo. Nice. I like the 3-inch box. Actually, is what I saw right away. I wasn't expecting the 3-inch box. So
Yeah,
I'm an SPI detergent box fan. So anything that's like reminds me of SPI Monster Game boxes, I swoon usually anyway. So got some charts and tables we're showing there. It's got the nice textured background. Oh, it's a full.
it's got a little setup.
Oh, is that a setup?
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
setup.
that's great. If that's a setup, that's a great way to follow the setup right there. Perfect.
See?
It's the guesswork out of it. Thanks for your pre-orders, Charles, for Defending America. And Devil Boats will be shipping Q1 of next year. For if you're wondering, Devil and Defending America will be out this year.
Okay, we
Yeah.
already know about that chart, so I don't care.
Looks good.
Okay, now
Yes, this is officially the Kid at Christmas segment or Hanukkah or whatever your persuasion is. We'll let you label it whatever you want. Oh, you are going to go for the mounted map. Don't harm yourself.
if I
No
break,
principles of Compass Games were ever injured during. Well, that's a nice mounted map, though. That's a big. So is that 4? That looks like it's a 4. It's got 4 piece. This is a pretty big map.
panel.
So is this bigger than? This must be bigger than 22 by 34. It's longer.
Oh, Bill's helping me.
Do you know what the dimension? Hey, you've got a good view there. What are the dimensions? That looks like it's longer than 34 inches to me.
Can I just?
It looks bigger. Maybe not. I don't know. 4. What do you guys think? That's a pretty big map. That's nice.
Can you see it?
Yep, it's upside down. I guess is it upside down? It might be upside down, but that's okay. It looks good. The colors are coming through.
Oh, it's the right side. It's right.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Hey, you
All
got
It looks good. No, you're holding it good.
Okay.
Can you make? Oh, there's the earthquake. Okay, just destroyed the whole area.
Okay.
All right. So
Well-
everybody likes the map. I know the lighting's a little dark, but no. Can you show the side of the box? That's a pretty big box. Can you show the side of it?
My God.
No, show the side. Oh, there's the back. There we go. Okay.
See?
And what's a show a side panel to show how deep it is? There, that's great. Oh, that's definitely, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I like this. That's very nice. And that's the bottom of the box. That's the part you don't normally see on the side. So
8 cards.
100, how many cards?
158.
158 cards.
Yep. You got 174 blocks.
Okay, different shapes probably too.
Yeah, different shapes and sheets of stickers too.
You need those.
Yeah, so that's good.
Like Jack says, these catalogs we do once a year are going to become like time capsules of watching the lineage of Compass Games over the years. You can just trace it through the, and then the catalogs, I guess, will have to get bigger in size when we finally run out of room. So I don't know, how's Billy fitting in all these titles?
Yeah, I don't know. Bill does that. I don't know how he does it. Because
Now, I don't know if anybody online, we have a slight delay of 20 or so plus seconds. I don't know if anybody online wants to hear about any of these new games we're
Well-
adding to the catalog. So if you want to give a +1, let us know.
The other thing, the catalog's going to have a 35% off discount for retail price.
Oh, very nice. What was it traditionally before in the catalog? Was it around the same?
30.
30? A little
Yeah.
bit more. Makes up for Compass Games Expo, right? Or we
Yeah.
like giving the big, so sort of a little extra for that. So
And
Eric's saving his catalogs.
they put all
Thanks,
the-
Eric.
How's that, Bill?
So Bill's getting ready. Update on Shoots Troop. I'm working on that project right now. So we're just waiting. We've got Tim Allen is still updating the counters for that. He's got all the information he needs. Once he gets the counters updated, we need those because we do have order of battle displays for the game for the setups and reinforcements. So we got to have the right counters or the updated counter images on the display. So Tim's been trying to go through it. He's actually been updating every single counter because we decided to increase the font size of the unit IDs, the abbreviation. So it's taken him a bit longer than we had hoped, but he's hopefully going to have them done this week. So just thought I'd sneak in a quick answer there. And then, yes, really nice setups. We like that setup. Mo was mentioning he likes that setup display card you showed for Granada. Actually shows where the pieces go. That was a really nice display you showed there, Bill, for Granada. So that was very nice. So anything else we need to mention about the catalog tonight? I don't know if. Oh, here's a question: Is Gilbert's asking, is Compass going to be publishing a Japanese submarine game? Yes. So from Gregory Smith, there is a design. Which now that I think about it, we have to maybe see if we can get this in the catalog. There's a Japanese sub game that we are planning to work on next year with Greg, but it's not slated for the catalog yet. So that might be, Gilbert might be bringing up the one miss that I talked to Greg about we didn't talk about, but I think that one's ready to go to the artist. So I don't know if Greg's online tonight, but I might be talking to Billy tomorrow about maybe adding that one to the catalog because we absolutely have a finished design. It's on Japanese subs during World War II, Gilbert, just as you mentioned. So yeah, that's something we should be able to get out next year. Here's a question for you, Bill, from Custer joining us on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, Custer. How many designs do you turn down and what are the reasons? So basically, I submit a design every day to Bill and he always turns me down. I've tried everything. And he says automatically, I'm an automatic no go. But no, that's a great question. So I know we do get some designs that we decide for one reason or other, it's not maybe the best fit for the designer or for us as the publisher. You want to maybe expand on that for Custer, Bill?
Yeah, I've turned down quite a few over the years. Mostly it comes back to it's just not a good fit. Okay, and I don't think it's not that I didn't think they were good games or anything like that. It's just it wasn't a good fit. I don't think the designer was on board. You do get a sense that you could tell when a designer really whatever. It has to be a good fit, and if it's not a good fit, I just back away early.
Right.
We've had some where we've had to back away on, but again. Really, for me, it's all solitaire driven. Okay, I will go back to the designer and really go and say, hey, can you make it solitaire accessible or suitable?
Right.
So I've turned down a few multiplayer games. And one thing, Cradle of Civilization, which you can play, it's a 6-player game. Okay, you can play 2 to 6. Okay, but the interesting thing is we added another game to it. A separate game,
right?
Very solitaire friendly.
Okay. Right. So I can show that here on the stream. So this is actually for everybody here watching, and you can see this on if you go to our Kickstarter page for Cradle of Civilization. There's 2 separate games here, and one in particular has a solitaire mode made of that Bill's talking about. So it does play very well solitaire, but it's actually 2 separate games in the box, like you said, Bill. 2 separate games in the box. So I think that was good to point out for everybody. Absolutely. And it's an Ancients game. We're very happy to do more Ancients era games. That's something we'd like to build up on. I've got a project that's just been on the back burner that I need to get going, which is Siege of Jerusalem from Avalon Hill. That very classic design. So that's another great Ancients game I want to get out. And we have I know we have the Ancients games from Command Magazine that were done. We also have those on pre-order already as well. So we do have more Ancient era titles that are coming. Yeah. So there's some pressure on you here. I got some +1s. Andy's raised it to a +2. So they want you to mention a catalog item that nobody knows about, or we haven't really. It's not on pre-order yet. Okay. So I'm going to let you, since everybody's pressuring you, some peer pressure here from your audience. I'm going to let you decide which one you want to talk about tonight. And again, just to let everybody know, I'm not going to have a live for the next 7 to 10 days because the catalog's going to print next week. And whenever the catalog is shipping out, there absolutely has to be that game listed on our website for pre-order. So you're probably not going to hear much from me for the next 7 to 10 days. And I'll be sponsored by Red Bull for that time period because I'm going to be doing a lot of pre-order pages because I have to catch up to our catalog. So I don't know. I think Bill's going to have me maybe do some announcements, trickle them out as we go versus one live session. Or you guys can let me know if you want to have a live session on all the pre-orders. Maybe I can do 4 or 5 at a time, whatever you guys prefer. But we're going to try to get all the pre-orders out within the next week, best we can.
Well, I got one that I want to tell. Right, John? I got to tell it.
Okay, let me get the cover art. Well, there's a cover box for this, so give me talk about something else for like maybe one second.
Some other ones I think they already know about, but we'll just Blue Water Navy 2, which is Blue Water Navy in the Pacific. Okay, is going to be on carrier battles, the Philippine Sea.
Oh, that's from John.
Which goes back to the carrier game, victory games. Okay, but it's a different game. It's on the Philippine Sea. Okay. Then I think we've got one. Yes, we're doing something very different. Okay. We're releasing, and I know I'm going to hear a lot of issues about this, but me and John talked about it. I said, yeah, we're doing it. John goes, well, there's going to be people that aren't going to like it. And I say, well, sometimes in the publishing business, you publish what you want to, and you don't care about what people like.
I don't think I said I didn't think they wouldn't. I don't think I've ever said anything they wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
We're talking about what I think we're talking about. I think people are going to love it.
Well, actually, love it or hate it. Put it that way. Okay. And this is this is about a month before going into production and less. It's the Russian campaign, the 1974 edition.
Right. So exactly.
It's the original one.
Yep.
Updated graphics. We're not adding any new rules to it. Okay. We're making them so people can understand them. Okay. But this is really the basic original edition that is coming out. Okay. So this is like a go back in time. So that's one of our big surprises is that we've been, this is very old school. You can see by the cover that it's basically the cover from the original. It's got that flavor to it. You'll see with the maps. You'll see with the counters as well. Yep. John?
Yep. I can mention that. Let everybody know, just for full disclosure, you're probably familiar. Before I joined Compass, as Consum Press, I have an arrangement with John Edwards to do his modernized treatment, his contemporary Russian campaign game, which is on a scale maybe 3 to 4 times more complicated. The rule booklet's probably 40 plus pages. The rule booklet here is maybe 6 to 8 pages total. So we're talking about, it's called Russian Campaign, but this is his original edition. Under Jedco was a huge flat box back in 1974. It had maybe 6 pages of rules and a little handbook style, and it had a red cover. So John Edwards actually approached Bill and I and said, I'm really for the simpler games these days. I don't want to have complex games anymore. I want simple games. And I feel like my original editions of this, like this one as an example, I want to do an original edition back to 74, which will be great to have by the way, it's mounted map, right? So it's a mounted map, counters, etc. It's a single map. So just to make sure everybody understands, this is a very different configuration than the Consum Press Russian campaign that's going to be coming out also around the same time. And that one's got 2 maps. It's got 40, 50 pages of rules. It's the much more advanced, complex version. This is a very playable, original 6-page version. So, but yeah, it does come with the mounted map. It's a single mounted map, by the way. It all fits on one sheet, 22 by 34. And I'm really excited about it. We've got the counters are already been worked on. The maps halfway done. And it's coming together very quickly. And again, the rules are only about 6 to 8 pages, Bill, and that's probably with illustrations. So this is a game you're going to be able to put down. I'll be able to play it with my son, probably who's 13. It's just one of those really playable, nice, light tournament style games, and it's a throwback to the 70s. So that's a big announcement there. So I don't know where else you want to. Thanks, Mo, for the kind words. And yes, George, it's going to be this will be a mounted map game. And just to let you know, for mounted maps, we need to limit it to one map sheet only. We don't do mounted map games if there's more than one map. So to make the one map work for John Edwards' original edition, which you see the cover for here, we're going with half-inch counters. But to be honest with you, again, with half-inch counters, it's absolutely not a problem for this game because, again, and I'll show you the counters here. There's not many values on the counters. This is a game from the 70s. So a half-inch is going to be very easy to read the counters. You've got, the 2 factors and the unit ID. There was no backside in the original edition. So on the backside of this one, you're going to have the setup. You're going to have the setup or the turn of entry, whether it's first or second impulse. You're going to have all the setup reinforcement information on the back of the counter sheet. So that's a little bit about that announcement. So that was a fun one. So that one I'm really excited about. Like, I don't see no downside to that one. I just know a lot of people are going to be mad at me because they've been waiting for 3 or 4 years for that big, huge production Russian campaign through Consum Press. But that one I'm excited. I think I'm really excited about that game. That was a good pick. Hopefully everybody's okay with that pick. And here's the nice little slogan for it: RC74. I like that, Dan.
Yeah.
RC74. That's what it is. It's the true original game. And this is probably one of the most famous classic games, which you've seen all the different editions and how it's really expanded over time. You're going to see the very first version of it in a brand new package, which is going to be pretty darn cool. All righty.
Yeah, the good thing about going through the catalog is it really tells you, for me at least, it brings some of the games that had to really go back in development, had to really, we thought they were going to be out, but because of designers and real life things that designers face in the world, they've sort of haven't come out. And the ones that I would say, and I'm looking at it right now, would be Battle Hymn Volume Number 2. We thought that was going to be out, my God, a year ago.
Yeah.
Eric Lee Smith has had a lot of he's really working on it. Okay, but it's one that we wanted that he kept asking for more time, and we said, yeah, take as much time as you need. He told me that he should be finally handing that in, okay, and ready for printing and production probably the 1st of October. Okay, but that's one. Battle Hymn 2 is one that's really taken a long time. And it's not like we're not doing anything. It's the designers are spending a lot of time, the play testers. And remember, that's the one where it's going to have a solitaire system as well, a pure solitaire.
Being added to it, yeah.
So that had to be really fleshed out. But that is one that is still that's still being worked on. So I don't want people to think, well, I ordered it a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and nobody talks about it. But Battle Hymn is one that I really want to get out because Battle Hymn 2, Battle Hymn 1 was a great seller for us. Okay, so this has a lot of pre-orders, and we want to get that out.
Let me also clarify. There's a question from Gilbert about. I'm confused that there's 2 Russian campaigns. So there are two Russian campaigns, and if you don't know the history, it can get confusing. But they're 2 very different games. So the best way to really compare the 2 is the one through Consum Press, which I had done, which GMT will put out later. That's the full-blown version. It's 2 full-size maps, many more counters, many more rules. It's like a 40-page rule booklet is the best way I can describe it. It's a 40-page rule booklet. It's a different game. I wish it had a different title, but we can't do that because of John Edwards. But it's so different as a game. It should have a different title. But that's the difference from our version is the original 74 version from John Edwards. It's not 40 pages of rules. It's 6 pages of rules. So that gives you an idea, maybe less than half the counters. It's only 1 map. So they're 2 very different experiences, just to be very clear. But I know it's going to take some time for that to get that through with everybody. When they see the title, they think I'm confused, but think 74 edition and think the other one, and they're just not the same game at all. Not at all. So great question there. So about that. And thanks Gilbert for the question. But yeah, they are, but it is the same game. The thing about Russian Campaign, that's Bill, I think Russian Campaign is one of those games that really changed the most from the original edition to what it grew into. I guess another one would be Squad Leader. If you think about Squad Leader, the original purple box edition from Avalon Hill, and then what you have with Advanced Squad Leader today, if you compare Squad Leader to Advanced Squad Leader, that's sort of the Russian campaign comparison in a nutshell, I would say.
I'm not doing that because you told me.
All right. So do we want to skip any other catalog mentions for now? I should mention here they want updates on Third World War. So Bruce Urian, who's helping with that, is actually helping wrap up one or two other projects. So he's sort of on split duty. But what he's doing right now is he's still working on the Order of Battle displays for the game. But also what is happening is we've already started on the rule booklet for Third World War games. So the good news is before we hadn't started the rules. And now what we've done with Third World War, if you think about Third World War, it's actually 4 games were released at different times. So they never were released at one time. So what we're doing, since we have all 4 games in the box, is we're consolidating the rules into a standard set of rules for all 4 games that are shared. And then a second rule booklet will be the special rules for each of the 4 games, plus the overall campaign game that links it all together. So we've already got actually the standard set of rules. It has actually got a first draft, but now we've got to update it with all the new markers and some of the changes we've made. So we are making progress on Third World War, just to let everybody know about that. And I'll turn it over to you, Bill, if you want to.
Okay, well, one of the other games I look at that has taken quite a while is Death of the Trenches, which is the World War I game by Ben Madison. That has gone on for a long while. Okay, I just got off the I just talked to Ben, I think by email last week, and he said he's actually wrapping up. I've talked to the artist, just sent me an email, so that's finally, we should have that going to production probably by October 1, November 1st. So Death of the Trenches, again, one that we thought was going to be out, but like designers and everybody we want to make a good game out of it, so it took a little more time. The other one is Kharkov Battles, which is a Fall Blau. You don't need to own Fall Blau, but it will have a campaign that will include Fall Blau. But Kharkov Battles have been on the pre-order list for a long, long time. It actually all done. We've got the print files to go to printer, so that is moving along and will be out hopefully early next year. Another one, and which
I'm showing it here just so everybody knows, Bill. I want to help spread the word. So Kharkov Battles, if you look at it on the website, it's been there for a while, but we really had no artwork for it. So we've got the cover image here. And also, if you go through it on the web, we've got a 3D. We've even got a 3D rendition of it here, so you can get a better idea, a 3D box shot. But also, we've got the back of the box. We've got the maps for the game. I mean, there's just a whole. If you check it out, you're going to see all kinds of artwork. I added the fronts of the 3 counter sheets. We've got the 3 separate map sections. Here's counter sheet number 1. So again, we've got a lot of new stuff around Kharkov. So definitely want people to check it out. And again, it's called Kharkov Battles, and definitely want to check it out for an update. I've even got the rule booklet. I got a PDF, Bill, the rules booklet. So that game looks basically, to me, it looks like it's a finished game from all the components that I've received to put on the website. It looks like it's a finished game now. I don't know. Yeah,
Kharkov will not have a mounted map due to the fact that it's 2 maps.
Right.
Okay, we'll have the all our games going forward will have thicker counters. Okay, so that mounted or not mounted, that's why domestically we've had why Korean War and some other. Korean War has actually been one that my God, that should have been out last year, end of last year, but we've had a lot of we had some issues. Then the whole thing with the counters became an issue. So Korean War, we're looking at October 15th.
Right.
Hopefully October 15th, maybe the end of October.
Right.
And
appreciate everybody's patience on that. That one's been lagging for sure, but it's going to be out absolutely this fall. Absolutely. We have Custer's asking. Thanks for joining us again, Custer, on YouTube channel. He's asking about Bismarck Solo, the Bismarck game.
Yes, we actually just sent that. Billy just we're having some another, not play tester, but like a developer look at it and go, because it seemed too easy. Okay, the rules and everything. So we wanted to make sure, me and Bill played it, but we want to make sure everybody understands it. So it's going to go to your guy, John.
Yeah, so shout out to Bob Cloyd. He's for those that don't know the name Bob Cloyd, he was the Civil War Brigade series head honcho for the gamers back in the day in the 80s or 90s. He's done a lot of development work. He also has some design work he's done, which we'll be pursuing with him in the near future as well. But he's actually been helping me, Bill, with the Russian campaign, the original 74 edition. And with Schutztruppe, he solved the problem with Schutztruppe with the counter manifest. So that was good. So Tim Allen could get the counters done, which will hopefully be this week. And now he's going to look at the Bismarck game for you as well. So looks like we have more questions here. Let me see here. So you talked about Battle Hymn already. We talked about Korean War, Kharkov battles. Looking at your game lineup, Joe Sheridan's asking over on YouTube, you need a good tactical system to fill it out. So Joe, question for you, Joe. When you say tactical system, is there a particular era, historical era you're talking? Because I can mention just off the top of my head, we've got tactical with combat. We've got the combat game for World War II. And then we've got sort of, pseudo-tactical company scale system, the company scale system from Adam Starkweather. So I guess, and then it's not considered tactical, probably Red Poppy's campaigns. I think, no, that's probably tactical. That's almost, that's a tactical level. So I guess, Joe, if you have more, want to say more about what tactical type games you're looking for and can clarify for us, we can talk more about that. Somebody was asking recently about World War I games, so I gotta see if I can find it. But somebody actually asked over earlier when they submitted their question, is there any pure solo game on World War I that's strategic, all of World War I, that's designed as a solitaire game? Not that it has a high solitaire playability to it or like a bot, but it's actually designed from the ground floor as a solitaire game. And just off the top of my head, I know we did Raiders of the Deep, but that's only naval U-boats for World War I. We've got Western Front Ace from Gregory Smith, which is World War I aircraft, but none of those are land, naval, air combined as a purely solitaire game. So I'm not sure. Bill, do we have, I can't think off the top of my head of a purely solitaire game for World War I.
No, and I can't even remember one. I don't even have one in my collection. And I probably have most World War I games out there.
Yeah, so I can't, and we have a bunch of World War I games that can play well solitaire that I would think might even be a better fit than I don't know. Sometimes when I think purely solitaire game for World War I, I'm not sure. I think the games that are out there are Imperial Tide, that's coming from Gregory Smith. It's going to have a bot to it, going to have a solitaire bot to it for World War I. So I think that one will be very good. Richard's asking about World War II Pacific. So I know Combat's going to be going there.
Pacific, I think next after Combat 2.
After Combat 2. And then I do know there's a gentleman I'm speaking with right now. I want to say Steve Overton, who's got a tactical World War II level system that we're looking at as well. So that would be another system. Mo's asking about a modern tactical squad level. I know Steve Overton's system would touch that era as well. Also, we're working on the Tank Leader series, and there is a finished design using Tank Leader series that covers the 80s. So it's not modern day era like today, Mo, 21st century, but there's like a Cold War version that's using the Tank Leader series, which was the West End games, East Front, West Front, Desert Steel. So there's a bunch of stuff like that going on. So if you want to, I'm going to do here real quick, Bills. I'm going to go through all the notes. We've got over 70 people online, and I've got a lot of comments. So I'm going to spend some time reviewing the comments. If you want to focus your discussion and talk about anything else in particular, I'll let you do that while I struggle with the comments here.
Let me see what I got here. Okay, I'll go to this page. Okay, we got Victory at Sea, which is the original Victory at Sea. I don't think that's right. John, I don't think this is right.
Oh, it's right. So there's a 19, I think it was on 94.
92 edition?
92, yeah. So what happened was what happened was War at Sea came out first. And then there is an original game which came out after War and Sea. It was called Victory at Sea. It's a more strategic level game, but it came out in the early 90s. That's when it first appeared. But you're right, the lineage goes back to War at Sea, which is a little bit of a different game. So we've got Victory at Sea, which was first produced by Jedco in 1992, and that's what John Edwards also approached us about, to do a original edition. Yeah, it's not as old as Russian Campaign. It's not from the 70s. But this one's early 90s, and it's not one you see too often. It hasn't been done too many times. So we'll have an original edition, Victory at Sea, from Jedco from 1992 is when it first came out.
Okay, then we have Greg Smith is collaborating with a few people. Okay, one is Fernando Sola. Is that correct?
Fernando Sola. Yes, I believe I got his name in the right order there. Hopefully I'll double check it to make sure, but make sure I have his right surname. But he's doing Interceptor Ace, right?
He's doing Interceptor Ace Volume 2, The Last Days of the Luftwaffe, 1944 to 1945. So that's a good one. And then we have Spitfire Ace, Air Defense over Britain in 1940 by Neil Hodge and Gregory Smith.
Right.
Then we have another one, American Tank Ace by Gregory Smith, and that's Europe 1944 to 45. So those are 3 games that Gregory Smith is working with people on. 2 he's doing it. 1 he's doing it himself. 2 he's collaborating with. Then we have War for the American Revolution by Gilbert Collins. So yay to that one.
Yeah, Gilbert's already submitted some questions. He was asking about the Russian campaign, about, are they the same game, and they're very different. So yeah, we're working already with Newt Grunitz is doing the artwork. We've already started work on the map for that. We'll have Gilbert on. We'll do an interview with Gilbert on War for America. That game is shaping up very nicely. It's going to be a large game. It's actually more than a map. It's going to be 2 maps is what we ended up with. So a 2-map design. It's going to be very nice from Gilbert. So we're very much looking forward to that one for sure. Absolutely.
Red Poppies 3, there's going to be a Red Poppies 4, and it's going to be based in Africa. So that's very interesting.
That'll be great. That's going to be great.
And there's going to be Brief Border Wars 2. That's already been decided. Yep. And then we've got an Eastern Front operational battles here.
Yeah, everybody, a few people have been asking me about what those battles are. So I guess if you want to give it the cat out of the bag, if you want to mention, or I can start. So basically, it's a designer by the name of John Thiessen, and John Thiessen's had 2 of these games. They were actually released by High Flying Dice Games. So they fit that nice 17 by, they were a little smaller than that originally, but they're going to be nice. They're each going to be 17 by 22 inch maps. So he did two of these earlier, but 2 are brand new designs, and 2 are going to be based on Kharkov battles, and 2 are going to be based on around the Kursk situation, Kursk battles. So I think you've got the names of the battles on the catalog. I don't know if you can read it though. The print's probably too small, but we've got those 4 Eastern Front battles. It's going to be a quad game. Again, 2 on Kharkov and 2 on Kursk. 2 are brand new designs. And what I should mention about the 2 designs that were published originally by High Flying Dice Games, that was actually a somewhat different game system. So what John Thiessen did was he approached us and he said, I've got these 2 new Eastern Front games I want to do. They're sort of small in size. So I went back to him and I asked, well, can we make it a quad game? And he said, actually, I did these 2 games, Eastern Front for High Flying Dice Games. They're somewhat similar, but actually the system's a little different. So what he did was he took the 2 originally published games, and now they're all on the same common system that he's newly developed. So even the 2 games published before, the game system's a little different. It's been updated. So in that respect, it's going to be like 4 new titles sharing a common standard rules booklet. So that's a little bit about the World War II, and Jack saying, yeah, keep those quad games coming. So we've got Brief Border Wars 2 is another quad game that's coming. So and then Desert Poppies. I'm looking forward to Desert Poppies. We've got some people ready to declare bankruptcy. You're looking for federal loans, relief. We got to get the federal relief funds going. We've got a son trying to escape from Kharkov right now as we speak. maybe I can trick him into playing titles. There we go. And yeah, we took your feedback to heart, everybody, about when we came out with Brief Border Wars. We didn't expect a response about, oh, we want more quad games. So that's, I think John Thiessen actually saw the call to action we had, can we do more quad games? And he approached saying he had a few games that are on a new system, and we worked it out to get the other 2 games he had done to upgrade him to that system as well. So we've got some great stuff in the pipeline. We showed Tobruk the other day as well, which Richard's talking about, which looks great. We just showed that one last week. If you haven't seen the broadcast yet, I definitely recommend check out the Fall of Tobruk broadcast, Compass Games Live 39, which showed all the artwork for that game. It's going to be really nice because also, Bill, for Paper Wars, we have what is it? Siege Assault on Tobruk is coming out in Paper War. So between Fall of Tobruk, which is all the Battle of Gazala, and then in Paper Wars covers just the assault on Tobruk, which is the final closing episode of the whole operation. It's going to be really nice to have both those games hopefully around the same time. But Fall of Tobruk will actually be out first before the Paper Wars issue, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to double check our schedules. Here's another question for you, Bill. Have your sales increased since the pandemic started, going back to, I guess I want to call it around March? I did Consim World Expo in Dallas early March, 6th through the 8th, and then that's sort of when the shutdown, I think, started rolling in right after that, pretty fast. So how have sales been since April, would you say, for Compass?
Oh, they've been up from last year. So they've been very good. We had 2 big games. There were Folder Gap and Stellar Horizons. Just were incredible as games were released. And like I said, Stellar Horizons was the one actually sold out within like a month and a half.
Yeah, Stellar Horizons, absolutely.
We're down to very few copies left in the warehouse. So those both did very well. And but sales are up over last year. So
yeah. And also regarding, besides Stellar Horizons, which will be back in stock in November, we also have Combat, which is out of stock, and that's going to be back in stock in December. We actually updated the webpage, but the pay later option isn't up yet. We hope to have it up by tomorrow at the latest. But you'll see Combat can be pre-ordered, and it'll be back in stock in December. And also, we obviously have to do that because Combat 2, ownership of Combat's required for Combat 2. So we want to make sure we have Combat available for everybody in case you don't have the game yet. So that will be back in print.
Blue Water Navy is out of print as well.
Blue Water Navy is out of print as well. We've also got all the reprints we're looking at, like African Campaign, Pacific Tide, all those. I think do we have dates in mind, Bill, for some of those reprints we're looking at, like Pacific Tide?
No, again, everything like that has been held up because I got a counter issue.
Yep, the counters, right? Absolutely. So let me do, if it's okay if I do a quick segue. Got one other topic I wanted to bring up quickly, and that is I put out a call last episode 2 weeks ago on Vassal modules. So the good news is I think I just posted over, maybe it was on Facebook and Consim World Forum. So we've had about 5 or 6 Vassal module creators contact us. So we're going to be adding more, let's call them module creators to the mix for us, which will help us with our pipeline. Also, I've already got the task. Won't start now for another 10 days because I have to do all the pre-orders for all the catalog items we've mentioned tonight. So I don't have time to start. But after that's done, I'm going to be doing a huge manifest of everything we have, where we have Vassal modules to support the gamers. Also, I'm speaking with a gentleman where we want to dabble with Tabletop Simulator to get an idea of how Tabletop Simulator will work as another platform to support. It's more of a 3D rendering engine, more of a modern interface. But in the research I've done, my understanding for Tabletop Simulator, it's maybe more for card-driven games versus maybe the straight hex-based games. And Bill's showing something here. So I'm going to okay, those look like nicer counters, thicker counters for Korean War that you got a sample of. You punched one out.
Yeah, I punched one out. Yeah, they're very thick.
Yeah, so that's the new printer we're working with. I don't think we can do on camera a comparison of old counters to original counters, but the counters are definitely a lot thicker
Yeah.
from what you showed me earlier before we went live. I mean, you got to get it sort of the edge right towards the camera. Good luck.
No, I gotta go this way.
Yep. And go up. Yeah, it's pretty thick. I mean, it's hard to tell, but yeah, we've got 1080i here, but that could almost pass for 2 counters if you're not looking carefully. It looks like they're pretty quick count, pretty thick. I don't know if anybody else can tell. I don't think the technology is ready for thick counter examples yet. Probably
Like this. Oh, see?
there. That's pretty thick. Yeah, that's a thick. Is that 1 counter?
That's one.
Go up to the camera.
That's 1 counter you're holding. That's pretty thick. Yeah, that you can tell. You can see the whole color contrast of the side. So that's a thick. Yeah. Is there an old counter around compared to? Probably not. It's not necessary. You can tell it's pretty thick. Are they I don't think they're pre-rounded counters though. I think that's only when we go overseas, right? Are these pre-rounded? I don't think so.
regular counters?
Regular counters. Yeah. So yeah, they were asking if they were and they're not white core counters, are they? Like the material, is it like white colored, like white form code? The counter sheet material, can you tell what the material is that's used? Is it like white colored? Like when you look at the side of it, like at the counter sheet, is it white, colored white?
It looks brown.
Okay, so it's not. It's probably not. It's not white core, probably. So Mo's, yeah, that doesn't look to be white core to me, Mo. That's just straight up cardboard. That's just thick. But unfortunately, it's not pre-rounded. That's for our overseas games. Sorry, Richard. That's going to be for our games overseas, like Granada, Granada games and games like that. So, but your clippers, you're going to have to get an insurance policy on your counter clippers because we might start breaking some counter clippers because it's going to take a little more muscle to get through that chipboard.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is when you do China, okay, and China does forget the rounded ones but if you do like a 5/7 or 5/8 or counters,
yeah,
okay, theirs actually are so die cut. Oh yeah, that's good. Are die cut so finely that the whole strip will come out.
Ah, okay.
So what they do is we have to put them all in plastic. Okay.
So yeah, and the plastic and yeah.
Counters. Okay, there'll be 5 counter sheets, and they'll all be in shrink wrap. Because what will happen is, because they're cut so finely, and they break off very nice. Okay, but the rows will, not individual counters, but the whole row will
fall out.
But the good thing is they're very easy. Now this is a thicker, where these ain't falling out. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no, you could tell those aren't going to move.
Yeah, you have to really punch these out. So we're going to have 2 different types of counters. But let me just compare. Oh my gosh, no comparison. Let me compare.
You've got a regular counter there from a. I don't know if you guys heard him. He said, "Oh my gosh, no comparison," just by touching the counter. It's obviously a pretty obvious difference in terms of probably the weight and the thickness.
This is this one. Okay, now I
gotta go back.
Bill tells me you gotta go. Okay, go. So see that?
Yeah.
And here is. Hang on. That's the thickness comparison.
Oh, it's almost double thickness.
Oh, it's more than that.
It looks like it's more than double thickness, actually.
I can do it like this. See? Oh.
Maybe have one a little lower than the other. Like they don't have to match up perfectly. Oh, there you go. Yep. There's that's at least.
Can't even compare the 2.
Yeah.
Do you see, John? Oh, that's
yep. So that's what you've been working in the laboratory for the past few months on, right?
Yeah, I think. But what happens is the back of the counters, okay, have those little creases that you got.
Yeah, the little stamp when you have the square stamp on them, little
thick counter.
You're right.
Okay, it does, and I asked them. So I haven't approved these because I said, hey, you got to go back and see if you can't make the backs a little better, because if you look at the backs, you can see where the creases are there.
The lighting's not too good. I can't really tell the crease. It's hard to see the crease, but I'll take your word for it. You can see there's definitely sort of an impression that it's definitely sunken in.
Yes.
It's definitely sunken in on the backside, which I think a lot of us gamers are used to. It's very clear. To me, it's almost a benefit to know that's a backside of the counter because it's so obvious because it's so flattened out.
I asked them to do is to see if they can't do a little better because now when you punch them out, they don't look as bad on the back.
Mo thinks they're almost triple in size at least. They're not. Are they almost triple in width?
I told you they're thick counters.
They're at least. I think they're at least double. I don't know if it's triple or not though. I guess you'd have to get out a true measurement to really know.
I'm gonna punch it really old.
It's at least double though.
Okay, Bill's gonna decide this. What the hell? Bill's gone. Okay, Bill's gonna decide this. I'm doing
And
it.
somebody has a question in the meantime. I don't want to miss this question because I think it came up earlier. So future titles in the company scale system, Bill?
It's not triple, it's double.
It's double which is, I mean, that's a lot though. Going double from what we have, that's a huge difference.
That's what I do.
To double it up. That's significant. Can we talk a little bit about company scale system? What future titles are coming from Adam for company scale system?
Yeah, Berlin 85.
Berlin 85. So that's the is that a follow-on like for Folda Gap that was released?
Yep, and then no, that's the fate you're telling me is the other system. No, operational. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, here's one. Yes, there is a Civil War game in the future, which we haven't announced tonight yet. Or maybe you don't want to announce it, Bill. But we do have a Civil War game coming. I can maybe look for it here.
It's a different title.
Let me find it for you really quickly while Bill's off. Looking up for you about the company scale system. I will pull up for you another game that we have coming. So.
Yeah. Okay, what were you saying, John?
About we're okay on company scale system.
Know what I want? I'll tell you what I want, John. And here's where I can't seem to find anybody to do this. Okay, I want a Vietnam game, strategic, sort of on the scale as Vietnam Victory. That's a solitaire game.
Okay. Well, we approached the designer Nick Karp for Victory, but he wasn't ready to take on a project. So,
no. And is I want somebody to design a solitaire strategic Vietnam game that's at the scale of. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And then somebody asked here, Bill, any Civil War games in the future? So you mentioned Battle Hymn 2 already. That's Shiloh. I want to say it's Bentonville. I'm going to guess wrong. And it's also adding a solitaire system to it. It's on the website, so you can shoot me if I got it wrong. But we do have another Civil War game coming, which I'm enjoying work on very much. So I'm adding it here so you can see it. How many are familiar with Manassas from Iron Crown Productions? It's probably best known because Mark Herman is always quoted saying it's his favorite game that he was not the designer of. It's his favorite game, Manassas, that he himself did not design. So we have a new edition of Manassas coming. It's going to be large. I think 2+ maps at least. The original game was very large maps, very beautiful looking maps. People said the maps and the counters really gave the aesthetics of the period were really just gorgeous. So we're really excited about the Manassas game. Rick Britton's the designer. He actually, I did a call with him and Mark Herman because Mark had 1 or 2 ideas that he wanted to share with Rick about the game because it's his favorite design, non-Herman design. So we're really looking forward to Manassas. It's going to be a beautiful looking product, just to let you know that we're really excited about. So just want to share a little bit about that one. So there is another Civil War game coming for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thumbs up on Manassas. I don't know how many are familiar with Manassas, but you'll see it, of course, if you go back to Board Game Geek, you'll see it's got a really high rating. If you look at the comments for the game, People say it's one of the finest Civil War games they've ever played. There's some videos by Mark Herman playing it because it's his favorite game. So the maps they're not, I mean, they're sort of like Rick Barber looking maps, I guess you'd say. They're cartographic in nature, like the original is. And we basically reproduced, we took the actual plates, the print plates from the original, and we couldn't quite make them work with today's technology. So we've rendered the artwork of the maps true to the original, but we had to do it from scratch. But, you can do it as an overlay, trace overlay. So I don't know if I have a map image I can actually show anywhere. I have, there's a little snippet here to give you an idea. That's what the ridge lines look like in the original. Has that little color shading of the weathered aged paper look to it. So it's basically going to be a copy of the original map and the counters as best we can. I had a bigger map image somewhere. I don't know where I have it, but it's pretty darn impressive looking. The map, I've seen almost like the full map, and it is pretty gorgeous. I'd have to say it's a real screamer as far as that goes. So you want Vietnam, solitaire, strategic level. Does that mean it's more than one map size? Is it like a single map mounted?
No, it couldn't. No, it could be 2 maps.
2 maps. Okay. All righty. So everybody who knows any designers out there that do good with Vietnam, let them know we're looking for a solitaire strategic Vietnam game for sure. And then we've got David Kershaw and Chris Hansen did a Vietnam solo game for White Dogs. Maybe there's something in.
I'm looking for more detail than that. I have that.
Okay, you have that? Okay.
So I'm looking for 2 maps like the old Vietnam victory game on that level. Okay, with the scale and everything else, just solitaire.
Okay. Well, listen, did you want to give away the free game now, or is there anything else you want to share before we spend a full hour?
Well, I got to ask Bill what he wants to give away. What do you want to give away tonight? Okay, we're going to do Dawn's Early Light.
Oh, nice. That's our next release on September 15th. Dawn's Early Light. Wonderful. So everybody, let me explain the drill here really quickly, as we always do. We have just under 70 people online. So what you're going to do is I'm going to do a countdown. And when my countdown's over, you're going to stop all your comments on YouTube and Facebook. You're just going to post your number between 1 and 100. So you're going to pick a number between 1 and 100. I'm going to do a 5-second countdown, and then we're going to let it sit for a while because of the lag time. So let's get ready to do this. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stop all your comments now and enter. Every person should enter a number between 1 and 100 in the comments section on Facebook and YouTube, and no other comments at all. And let's leave it that way for about a minute so we can make sure we have just numbers in there. And then we're going to roll the dice.
Oh, look, I can see him this time.
So I've got some numbers rolling in here, but we got to give it time. We've got about almost 70 people vying for a free game. So numbers are getting a little bit bigger, but I'd also like to think the games are getting nicer as well. So hopefully each game we give away, you're all excited about. So we're going to wait a little bit longer. Again, please don't make any comments because I'm going to have to scroll through the list to see where we have matches. So we want to keep all the numbers together. So we still have numbers coming in. So we'll give it another 10 or 15 seconds. And please hold any comments, please. I'll wait another, let's wait another 5 or 10 seconds here. We've got a lot of numbers, but I want to wait a little bit longer.
I'll never go with anything under 10.
Okay, so with that, we're ready to start the die roll. Who's doing the die roll? Is it Billy or you tonight, Bill?
Billy does it.
Billy's going to do the die roll. Okay, so Billy, go ahead and roll the dice.
Oh, boy. Huh?
48.
48?
Yep.
48.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the list. If you see your name, don't get too excited because I don't know who the winner is yet. I'm just looking for who's closest to 48. So let's see. We've got somebody very close already to start right there, but hold on. 48 is the number. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, that's our buddy. Oh, yeah, from Utah.
Okay, we have our winner. Our winner is.
Oh, we have we have one thing we gotta say. we don't give prizes to people in Utah.
Oh, that's right. That's the new regulation. I forgot. It sort of has to do with this COVID lockdown stuff that because of Utah, we can't send games there.
Anything to this Gordon guy.
Yeah, we know Gordon. So Gordon, congratulations. So you probably know the drill, but I'll put it in here. So what you want to do, Gordon, is you want to go ahead and send an email to this email address, which will come up here in a second. So Gordon, go ahead and send an email to sales@compassgames.com with your Utah mailing address. So now everybody knows where to find the game. They can try to interdict it. And send us your mailing address and that you won for the September 3rd drawing. And you are a lucky winner. So congrats. Yes, we got some. We got some. Look at our guys. Our guys are so nice. We're giving congratulations to the winner. Look at that. We're not looking to take his knees out. Nobody's looking to take his knees out. Try to cap him in the head or anything. Everybody's being nice. Everybody's being nice to Gordon. Everybody's getting on Gordon's nice side. Look at that. Jeez. All right. And with that, I think we're ready to do a quick session wrap. So we've covered a lot. I'll turn it over to Bill here in a second, but basically just a reminder, make sure you join on our newsletter, subscribe to our newsletter on our homepage. We've got our release schedule updated through end of October with about 4 releases that are coming up. We got a lot of work to do between now and the next week or two because of the catalog. And that means all these pre-order pages will be created and we'll be announcing a ton of pre-order games. And we're excited about all the games we've got coming for sure. So with that, Bill, I'll turn it over to you for our wrapping up tonight's town hall.
Okay, well, as always, it's fun for me. And secondly, I'm excited about our catalog, and we're going to be sending that out. You should be getting that in the mail pretty soon. And you guys stay safe and enjoy, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Next week, we'll be back also next Thursday night for another episode of Compass Games Live. I don't know what condition I'll be in with all the pre-orders to do, but I'm going to try to brave through it. Maybe we'll do some pre-orders. Maybe we'll do some pre-order announcements next Thursday night, actually. That might be a good way to handle it. So good night, everybody. You have a wonderful, safe weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday. We'll see Bill. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Bill. Take care and good night.
Safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.